Give me a second. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I got you right, you have a graph that looks something like this. So there's a y-axis and then there's an x-axis. And something after plotting the points on the graph looks something like this.
Sort of, yeah.
I'm coming. Let me finish up the graph. It looks something like this. And then something like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea behind graphs like this, right? This graph
Mm.
is actually shaped, this particular one. And I think even the other ones that fall in this category is shaped like um, a trapezium. Okay. So to find the area under the graph, right?
Mm.
It's like finding the area of this triangle plus the area of this rectangle plus the area of this other triangle. Alternatively, if you know the formula for area of a trapezium, you don't have any issues with that. So it will just come down to half half of whatever is the distance from here, whatever is the measure or the number of units from here to here. So that would be my, whatever it is A. Okay. Plus B. B is the distance from here all the way to here. Okay. So this would be my B. All right. And then
Mm-hmm.
all that would now be multiplied by H. Did
Mm.
you see that?
Mm.
Okay.
But this isn't what we're doing.
But it's similar.
Not really.
Okay. So it's close to what you're doing, right?
I guess.
Is it?
Not really.
So do you have the notes?
Not on me, wait. Let me try to find an example on Google.
Okay.
Well, but it doesn't allow me to like a conversion graph.
Okay, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Just give me a minute. Let me enable you to share. Okay, go ahead.
It's something like this.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'm taking a look at it. So, mm, mm. So basically, they're conversion graphs, right?
Mm.
Hmm. Okay. So you know what I think, what I noticed of this about these graphs. Basically, it's they will be testing your ability to read off values on both and y axis. Okay. So for instance, this first one that says, if I exchange 15 pounds, how many euros will I receive? So the axis for pounds will go and look for 15 on it, right?
Mm.
And then
And then you go to the
trace it
line.
to you trace it to the line and then trace it to the axis for the euros. So it's not going to be yeah, you zoomed in. So
It would
yeah.
be like 18 euros.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Because I'm tracing, if I trace, I'm trying to trace it myself. 15 and trace it all the way to here. Yes, it's going to be 18. Or will it? Let me just confirm that. Yes, it's going to be 18. Yes, it's 18. You're right. Because in this measurement, one one yeah, one box, one of the small boxes that has five smaller boxes represents 5 units. So yes, it's fine. So yes, you're right. Okay. So are there any areas where you have challenges with them?
Mm. Not really.
Okay, so these ones are clear to you, right?
Maybe only like the 45-pound one.
Okay. Okay, because that one is not on the graph, right? So it says if I exchange 45 pounds, how many euros will I receive? Okay, so
Or do you have to do like a certain number and then double it?
no. Okay, so this is the whole idea. Now, this graph is a straight line graph, isn't it?
Mm.
So now we understand it. All we need to do now is to find out its equation. Every straight line graph has an equation. Okay, so for instance, that's why you see that y equals mx plus c. Okay,
Mm.
y equals mx. You've seen that equation, right? That's the general equation for a straight line graph. Okay, so in this case, the m is the gradient, and while the c is the intercept on y-axis. But this one, its intercept is 0 because it starts from the origin, which is 0. So all we need to now do is to calculate our gradient. So do you know how to calculate the gradient?
No, not really.
Okay, so that's what let me just show you how to calculate the gradient, because it's based on that gradient that you'll be able to get, that full equation. Okay, so but then I'll need that graph. Maybe I'll need to have the picture of it. Okay, so let me allow multiple shares. So, okay, I think I've allowed you to share your screen. Okay, okay, don't worry. So I'll show you how to calculate it. And then maybe you share back the screen and then we'll calculate it. Okay, so let's see if we can have a sketch of the current graph we're dealing with. It's a straight line graph. Sorry. It's a straight line graph, and it starts from the origin. Okay, the origin is where x and y are both 0, and it's a straight line graph. Okay, meaning that its gradient is constant. Okay, so this is the whole idea of finding gradient. All right, so um you can trace, okay, this point on the x-axis. Let's call it x2.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
and let's call this other point on the x-axis x1. So what you now need to do is to equally trace x1 to the y-axis, and that will be our y1 that's corresponding to x1. And of course, trace this to the y-axis. Okay, and this will be what? Y2. Okay, can you see that?
Mm.
All right, so the next thing we're going to find out is our m. Now m is nothing but this. You see how simple it is now. Y is on top, so the difference between y2 and y1 divided by the difference between what? M2, x1, x2 and x1. Okay, so please don't forget, this is just simply what the gradient is. So now let's apply it to that your graph. So I'm going to unshare my screen now. But before you share, do you understand what I just explained?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, so let's go and apply it in that one that you you are sharing. So go ahead, share it, and let's apply that idea there.
Is it Sharon?
Okay. Yes, yes, I can see it perfectly. Okay. So now, if I were to apply the same idea here, if I trace, let me see, which one should I trace? Okay, can you see that for the pound side, if I trace 4 up to the graph, it will give me 5 on the euro side. £4 will give me £5, 5 euros. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's call that means 4 is our x1 and 5 is our y1. Okay, so let's take note of that. Just keep that somewhere. If you have a piece of paper there, you could write it. Then let's see, which one did we just discover? £15 gave us 18 euros, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means 15 is our x2 and 18 is our y2. Are you good with that?
Mm-hmm.
So now let's find the difference between y2 and y1. That would be 18 minus 5. 18 minus 5 will give you what?
18 minus 5 will give you
Yes,
13.
13, okay? All right, so let's keep 13 somewhere because we're going to be dividing 13 by something. So if you have your calculator there, let me just get my calculator out. That's 13. 13 divided by the for x2 minus x1, that's going to be 15 minus 4. And 15 minus 4 is what?
11.
11. So 13 divided by by 11 equals, okay, so it actually gives me 1.2. Okay, it gives me 1.2. All right.
Oh, I
So
thought it was
now
one
we
point.
know,
I thought it was 1.8.
no, it's 1.18, 18, 18, 18, 18. Do you
Mm.
get?
Mm.
So by the time you round it up,
1.8, my yeah, 1.18.
can you see that it's 1.18?
Mm.
Okay, good. All right. So on share your screen, we will now work out the one for £45.
Okay.
Now, remember, pounds is on the x-axis, right?
Mm.
Just keep that at the back of your mind. So when we're working it out, you know what we're talking about. So remember, our graph is going to be y equals mx. Okay. And the reason why it is just mx is because I told you that the c intercept on y-axis is 0. So when you add 0 to something, it's as if it doesn't exist, isn't it? So the 0 just disappears, makes it look as if it's not there. So our graph for this, our equation for this graph is simply equal to, is simply y equals 1.2, okay, x. All right. Okay. So now remember, x is what? From that your graph, x is pounds, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
X is pounds. And y, no, okay, let me just write it as pounds. Sorry, because I wanted to write using the symbols, but I just saw that the symbols for pounds and euros look so close, kind of close. Okay, so I'm going to just write it out. Okay, so x is pounds and y is what? Y is euros. Okay. Okay, so now that we figured out the equation for the graph. You know what we're going to do next? That's where we'll now do that your 45, the one for 45 pounds, right? Now remember, you don't in that graph, the highest value didn't get up to 45, isn't it? So you know what we're left with? We are left with substitution. We can only substitute where we have x for pounds because it was 45 pounds. All we need to do is to substitute 45 where you have x. Okay, so that's going to be 45 times 1.2. So help me check that on your calculator. 1.2 times 45, what did you get?
1.2 times 45
Yes.
is 54. Is 54. It's 54. It's 54. It's 54. It's 54. It's 54. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Mason.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sorry, my modem went off.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you get? 1.2 times 45 gave you what?
54.
54. Okay, so that's going to be 54 euros. Okay. So did you get that? Did you get how I went about solving it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you do whenever the whenever the value doesn't show on the graph. You just have to use substitution method, but you cannot use substitution method except you know the equation for the graph. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So okay, so like I said, I think what I did the last time, you don't mind if I send you this on WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so that you won't need to be screenshotting and all that. Okay, okay. So let's see. Do you have another example there you want to
No.
share?
No.
Okay, let me see if we can. You remember those questions that we found that back then? One among the past questions, I think.
No, I don't remember.
There was a website that you told me you said I should check back then. You don't remember that website?
Oh, what was it? Maths Genie.
Yes, Maths Genie. I think we can check that website for more questions. Okay, so let me unshare. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look for Maths Genie. Okay. Okay. Which one do you think I'll find it under? Would that be this one, the first one, right?
I think it's just Math Genie.
Just Maths Genie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 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 Key stage 2. Would that be key stage 2, KS2, right?
I think so. I think it'll just be Math Genie. Math Genie.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Okay.
Let's just go to mathgenie.co.uk. Okay. So let's see. I'll just search for conversion graphs, right?
Mm.
Conversion graph. Okay. Okay. Hmm. I think it should be this one, right? Straight line graphs.
I think so.
Okay, let's go for that. Did you people also do some like this that did not really involve conversion? Because this one is not conversion per se, but it just has to do with straight line graphs. Did you do any ones like this?
No.
Okay. Well, these ones look more straightforward. All you just need to do is to plot, get your points out, and then plot the graphs.
I don't think so because we done that in year 7.
Yes, yes, yes. So those ones are quite straightforward. So, so something tells me maybe the topic is not conversion graphs, right?
Hmm?
Units. Oh, okay. Don't worry. I think I've seen something. Units and conversions. Let's see.
No, I
Okay.
think that's like, oh, never mind.
How about this?
Uh, let me,
Conversion between centimeters and inches. It looks more like it, right?
kind of. Wait.
Yes, yes. This one looks more like it. So look at the question there. It says change 3 inches to centimeters. Can you trace it? 3 inches is what in centimeters?
3 inches. What do you mean?
Can you see the 3 inches now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what value do you think it is on the centimeter side?
Pardon?
What value is it on the centimeter side? This value, what's this value?
Hmm,
When you
is it 7?
you need to check the scale. So you need to, is the scale that will tell you whether it's 7 or not. Can you take a look at the scale? Once you understand the scale, then getting what the value is will come easy.
Which scale? Wait, which one is the scale?
Okay, let me explain what the scale is. Okay, so for instance, right, on the x-axis, on the inches axis, did you notice that between 0 and 2, you have 2 units there?
Yeah.
Good. Now, that 2 units is also 2 centimeters. In other words, each of these boxes from here to here is 1 centimeter. So from here to here is another 1 centimeter. So the scale on the inches axis is 1 centimeter to 1 unit. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let us go to the cm axis. On the cm axis, you have between the same 2 cm, instead of it to be 2 units, it's 4 units. Okay. Now, this is how I usually do this type of scale. You can confidently say that on the cm axis, you have 2 centimeters to what? 4 units, or um or yeah, 2 centimeter to 4 units, or 1 centimeter to 2 units. Okay, can you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the question now is that if 1 centimeter is to 2 units, what will each small box represent? All right, now watch how I'm going to get that answer, to the answer to that question. So in between 0 and 4, there are 10 small boxes. Do you agree with that?
Mm.
So that means if I want to find out the value of one of those small boxes, I'll simply say 4 divided by 10. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to give me 0.4. Okay, so look at what that means. Watch what it means. It means that if here is 4, if here is 4, then the next small box above it is what? 0.4. That's 4.4. 4.8. Okay, and then after 4.8, if you add another 0.4 to it, that's going to be 5.2, right?
Mm-hmm.
After 5.2, you have 5.6, and after 5.6, if you add another 0.4, that will be exactly 6. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That would be exactly 6. So we're heading for the next one. 6.4, 6.8. That's the next box. And the one that we're looking for is going to be 6.8 plus 0.4. That is 7.2, isn't it?
Mm.
So that's the one we're looking for. Can you see how I came about the 7.2?
Mm, really?
Did you understand how I got the scale?
Not really.
Okay, so this was how I started. I said between 0 and 4, how many small boxes do you have? How many of those tiny boxes do you have? Can you help me confirm? How
Between
many?
0 and 4, is it 10?
10, yes. Those tiny boxes are 10. So the question now is, what's the value of each of those tiny boxes, right?
Mm,
Do you
Is
understand
it
what I?
is it 0.4?
Yes. So that's why I had to say 4 divided by 10, and that would give me 0.4. So all I now needed to do was to start from the ones that I could see and count upwards to the one that I can't see. Okay. So that's what I just did. I was just adding 0.4 each time. Okay, until I got to that one that gave me 7.2.
Okay.
All right. So if that's the case, then that means that the value for 3 inches is going to be 7.2 centimeters. Okay. Did
Okay.
you get it now? You got
Y-
it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I think what you just need to what you really need to learn now is how to read off a scale, even when you're not told what the scale is. Okay, how
Okay.
to how to how to read off a scale, even when you're not told what the scale is. Once you can do that, okay, all right. So theirs was 7.5. Anyway, we're kind of close, right?
Mm.
We're kind of close between 7.4 and 7.6. Anyway, so here we go. Now, can you see that second question that says convert 50 cm to inches?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, on the graph, we don't have up to 50 cm on the y-axis. The highest is 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same idea. All they did was to get different values and then use the gradient idea and solve it. That was just all they did. There was no big deal. It's the same idea that we used back there in that other question. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, so can you figure out this one? Take a look at it, close look at it.
So would you? Okay, wait. So first I need to wait. So to find out how much each tiny square is, you'll do the 5 divided by 10
Exactly,
because there's 10 squares, and it'll be 0.5.
exactly.
And then to change 15 liters to pints,
Mm-hmm.
when you count, you'll see so 25.5. Wait, 25 point, is it 25.05?
No, now if
So,
you add the 0.5 to 25.5, it will become 26.
oh, so it'll be 25.5, 26, 26.5. Is it 26.5?
Correct. Yes, to be 26.5. Yes. So you got the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's see what they came up with as their own value. So can you see theirs is 26.4? I think the reason is because if you
It's
notice the line is slightly below 25.5. Sorry, slightly below 26.5. Sorry, not 25.5, 26.5.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but it's all good. So that's the concept. And the second one is still the concept of using the gradient. Okay, all right, let's take a look at this one. 12 feet to meters.
$12 feet. So okay.
Now, for you to do this one, you need to also understand the scale on the feet axis. That's the x-axis, the feet one, the one that's horizontal, the feet one, versus the scale, and then also the scale on the meters axis, the vertical one. So you notice that they are different. So you need to understand each of the scales. Then you need to now find out where 12 is before you can now go ahead and do your tracing.
So tell me one. So what you'll do to find out the y-axis going up, you'll do 2 divided by 10. So that would be 0.2, and then the x-axis will be 0.5, and then
Exactly.
you'll go to 10, and it will be 10.5, 11, 11.5, and 12. So where the black line is, like
Yes.
right next to 10. So then what you'll do is you'll go from 12, and then since it's 0.2, what you'll do is so 2.5, 3.
No, that one is not 0.5.
I mean,
Remember, that
my
one
bad.
is
Yeah,
0.2. Yeah.
2.2, 2. Wait, let me just do it backwards from the 4.
Okay, you want to do it backwards from the 4?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, go ahead.
So 3.8, 3.6. So will it be 3.6 or 3.7?
Yes, it will be somewhat between 3.6 and 3.7.
I think it's
Okay.
3.6.
Okay, correct. You're right. It's 3.6 on the dot. Okay. Okay. So maybe we should do one more for practice sake. This one is stones to kilograms.
Okay, so for the x-axis,
Yes.
2 divided by 10 for 0.2, and then you'll go to the 6 line. So
Yes.
so with 6 is 6.2, 6.4, 6.6, 6.8, 7. So the 7 is like the black line between the 6 and 8 there.
Okay.
And then when you go up, so wait. So wait. So for the y-axis, it will be 10 divided by 10. Which is
1.
what was it? 1. So
that even makes it kind of easy, right?
So 7 up. So you'll go 40.1, 40.2. So 40.1, 40.2, 40.3.
No, not 40.1, but 41, 42.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. 41, 42, 43. Would it be 44, 45 kilograms?
That is very correct.
I think it's 44. It's even a decimal. Try.
Anyway, it's kind of in between 44 and 45. I think they agreed with you on that point, that it's in between 44 and 45, but you're good. You're good with that. Okay. Okay, I think there's just one more left. Or is that it?
I
Okay,
think
no,
that's
that's it. Okay. All right, nice job. Nice job. Okay. So that's what you guys are doing now in class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the teacher tell you guys what you'll be doing in the next class?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
They don't usually tell you guys
No, not really.
what's
Unless you
coming up next.
ask.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. I'm thinking of something. Maybe we should also do one of um the ones for the gradient. Can you attempt that one with this?
Uh, oh,
You,
no,
you remember the one we did for gradient, right?
no.
Okay. Maybe I'll do this one, then we'll scroll up and do the others too. I probably assumed it. So always remember, this is the formula for gradient. M equals y2 minus y1. Okay. Over x2 minus x1. Okay. All right. So let's see what they have here up their sleeves. So they're asking us to change 100 kilograms to stones. So 100 is obviously not on kilograms axis. So let's see how we'll find that out. So let's see if there's a way we can get a y2 and a y1. So what what's the best way to go about this is to see if you can draw a right angle triangle, okay?
Yes.
All right. So now the catch for this, right, is to try and see if you can draw it in such a way that it's it's it rhymes with where you have whole numbers. Okay, so this is what I mean. You figured out that um 7 stones is 44, sorry, is 44 kilograms, right? So you know what we're going to do? We're going to draw our right angle triangle. We're going to start from 0. In fact, that's the best thing to do, to take advantage of the 0 position. Okay? We'll take advantage of the 0 position and go all the way to the 7, where 7 hits the graph, and go down. and go this way too. So we can now find the gradient. Okay. So see what is going to be. My y2 will be what we just traced. That is this, the value here, which is 44. Okay. So that's going to be what? 44 minus 0, isn't it? Divided by, on the x-axis, I have 7 as my x2 minus 0 as my x1. So in other words, I have 44 over 7. And 44 over 7, I know is 6 point something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should do that on my calculator. Can you help me do it on your calculator?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
6 point what?
6.3.
Okay, 6.3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I'll now use my y. You know the concept, y equals mx. In this case, my m is 6.3. So I'll just go ahead and put my 6.3x. Okay. And now remember that x is what on what axis? The stones axis. And they're asking me to convert kilograms to stones. Take note, kilograms is y. So in other words, this time they are telling us what y is, and they're asking us to find what x is. Okay, so take a look at how it's going to look now. It's going to be something like this. 100. So I'm going to put 100 for my y. 100 equals 6.3 times x. Okay, so all I now need to do is to find what my x will be. And how would I get that? I'll divide both sides by what? 6.3. Okay, that's how I'll find it. I'll divide both sides by 6.3. So help me do this. 100 divided by 6.3. What would you get?
Pardon?
100 divided by 6.3.
Will it be 0.063?
No, it can't be 0.100 divided by 6.3.
Will it be? I'm not sure.
Can you check on your calculator?
It says 15.9.
15.9. Okay, so that's it. 15.9 stones. Okay, so if you check it, you see that's exactly what they got there, or something close. Okay, so let's check what they got. Can you see that they got 15.8, which is really close to what we got, 15.9, same thing. All right. Okay, so at least you got a bit of the concept, right? Mainly getting your scale, understanding the scale, and then being able to read the graph based on what the scale tells you, right? Okay. All right. So I think you'll be able, I'm sure you guys will be able to go further tomorrow. So we'll be able to have more to cover tomorrow, in addition to what we've done today. Okay. So you don't have any tests in that soon, right?
No.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so we'll just focus on what you guys are doing in class and move with that. Okay.
It's gonna be
So
after the half term, the test.
okay. After the half term,
Yeah, most likely.
that what will happen?
Hmm?
You said it's after the half term that what happens?
Yeah, the test will most likely happen.
Oh, okay. I get it now. All right. And when is that?
Um, in after this week finishes, and then there's 1 week, so maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh,
No,
oh, I see.
2 or 3.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. Just give me a reminder when we're getting really close.
Mm.
Okay. All righty. Okay, so you'd let me know maybe through your mom, I don't know,
Mm.
if we'll be having class tomorrow, um, or we might just um leave it for Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, you too, uncle.
All right.
Bye.
All right, goodbye.